Okay, I think I'm good. Yeah, X out this. Alright. Go into it. Oh. Oh, I like this screen. Pretty cool. What do I... Oh. Hey, Dorky. Things are happening, so fingers are crossed, but, they sent us to Coolsville? What information is this pulling from? Because I just made a, I'm pulling through a RimWorld, world where I made the Mystery Inc. people, and I put them in Coolsville, so... Game, are you stealing my private information? What's happening there? Okay. Hopefully... Oh, what did that do? But we could be in Coolsville. Oh, check this box. Jump through hoops when... Okay. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even see what the birthday thing said. The philosopher Ibn Khaldun wrote in 1377 of people enjoying the sound... Oh.
Congratulations. Your degree in customer service has rewarded you with a remote job at Valdivian, one of the foremost mega corporations of our times. Though your house may be large, it is...
This art style reminds me of like, Octodad.
The sticky notes on your bulletin board remind you of your ultimate aims. But for now, it's time to get to work.
I don't know, the way these assets are... Ooh. Hold on. Where's your job? But you knew it. So it's my job to date these furnitures? Ooh. Ooh. Oh, hold on. Does it have, like, screen blur or something? Tap it in. No. Turn it down a little. I don't know. It's a little weird feeling.
Happy Tuesday from your favorite Chief Executive Officer, David Most. As you know, every day here at Valdivian is a reason to celebrate, as stipulated in your employment contract. Today, however, is extra.
I know this game has a lot of voice actors.
Day of our new hire. Please join me in giving her a warm welcome to our team. Out of the 30ish job applications we didn't immediately burn, yours had the least spelling errors. You're joining us at a very exciting time, and we're all rooting for your success. As it lovingly says on the plaque above our daycare center, Valdivian, our business is family. We're so excited to have you joining ours.
David Most.
Coincidentally, the daycare center has been shuttered indefinitely due to the recent economic downturn. We thank our
What is happening? Okay, this is a new job. Okay, this is a new job I'm working at?
Hi there. You come highly recommended. I've heard great things about your can-do attitude.
So I'm going to, like, sites? Thanks, Tommy. I do have a great attitude. Shut up, Dinglebert. What? Thanks, Tommy.
You are so welcome. I'm Tom, your manager. But you might find it easier to think of me as a leadership principal guidance associate. I'm not from your town myself, but I have heard great nice things about that specific locale. Seems like you are a customer success strategist.
I wonder, does everyone get Coolsville autofill? Is that is throwing me, really. Seems like you're wonderful. You should be proud. Who cares? Let me go. Sure. Yeah, I am, very much.
Customers deserve success, and in a strategic way. What could be better? Okay, champ. I'll let you get to it.
Oh my god, who's... First day and everyone's talking to me. Who are you again? Hey, Sam.
Hey. Just keep that customer service robot voice on at all times, and no matter how mad you get, never give it back to them. And remember, I might have set you up for this job. You got it because you deserve it. You literally have a degree in customer service. That's right! Oh geez, here comes
Okay,
my
can we...
manager. I gotta get back to work. Good luck, okay? You
I'm
got this.
Alright, anyone else want to talk to me?
You have new tasks.
What?
I have a broken sewing machine.
Oh, go on a date with me? So what? What seems to be the
I
problem?
don't know. It stopped sewing a couple of years ago.
This sounds fishy.
Can I get a refund, though?
A couple years ago, oh, hydrate. Why can't I deny? No, lady, it's been a couple years. Wait, I can only just say yes? Okay. Oh, do I need to be more rude?
Hello, I purchased this book and I'm extremely angry about it. Is there a manager I can speak to?
That lady scammed? This was a scam. The sewing machine lady scammed me, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Again, it's been closed. What?
Valdivianites! Salutations from the chatbot that has replaced your CEO.
What is happening? I feel like I'm not doing good at my
Just
job.
kidding.
I feel like this is not
And there is
going
no way
well.
a computer could ever replicate the ingenuity.
Everyone's just talking at me. Let me do
I
stuff.
utilize daily to bring leadership to our team and value to our shareholders. Humanity is absolutely integral to the transformative work,
Okay.
excluding, of course, the following.
Alright.
Your department has been affected, however.
I got an
Do
AI
not fear.
assistant. Okay.
Speaking of, please join me in bidding a fond Valdivian farewell to While the Val 9000 has unfortunately determined your incredible skills would be better.
Okay. What? Stop talking to me.
Got a quick minute?
Nope, busy. Sure thing, Tom.
Oh, knew you were always good for a quick minute. The thing is, Valdivian has done some really intensive research. And it looks like Val 9000, the latest iterative AI tech, is going to be taking over your job for the foreseeable future.
Tom, I just started working. This is my first day, and I'm getting replaced?
So I guess we don't necessarily need you around anymore, but we can't exactly let you go without cause.
What?
You and I are in something called labor limbo.
This is too
We'll be
real.
around until we specifically muck things up, which then they can terminate us.
5 years, this is, no, not even 5 years. 2 years? This is the type of message my manager will send me. Exactly.
So are you...
How did you
one
hear
of the
about this,
affected
Sam?
people?
Is this happening, all at once? What's happening? Why is everyone so well connected?
I mean, I knew this was coming soon,
Prefer to
but
say I was liberated.
today, sorry for getting you this job and then getting you fired. Oh yeah?
I'm in limbo.
Makes sense. In a completely twisted way, of course. Well, they're gonna lock you out of here on your computer, so we can't talk here anymore. Are you on Discord?
Discord. Yeah, I signed up, but I didn't know anyone.
Well, you do now. We should talk there.
I'm lonely.
Who knows who's listening to us here? Talk to you later.
Who is Sam? No, I don't want to. I mean,
I ordered this couch, but I popped it on my kitchen.
I'm just giving everyone, since I'm just gonna give everyone refunds. What? Go to Siri, just give my students to care. Are you a supervillain?
You asked me that. Oh, haha. I understand now. But no.
I'm just gonna mess around on my day. If you were a supervillain, what would your powers be?
I suppose it would be something to do with fire. I've always been quite taken by its properties.
I'd be the distractor.
I see. This
I
definitely
should like people so we could
appears-
play games online or something.
I will try again later.
Nice.
Hello, my name is Emmanuel, and I have counted precisely 480 paper clips in this box. I would like a refund promptly. Thank you.
Wait, I feel like I recognize that voice. Who was that? Oh my god, was that? I don't know. I can't tell. I have counted precisely 480 paper clips in this box. Would you like to... Yep, I'll give you a
Thank for
refund.
noticing. Have a happy day to you and your soul.
Okay. Yes. Since I was leaving anyway, I might as well, you know, give everyone refunds if I can, except for that villain.
Oh, okay, here goes nothing.
I'm scared. Who are you?
Well, that's not important. Think of me as a friendly yet anonymous.
What is happening? I just wanted to get a simple job doing customer service, and all of a sudden I'm being fired and hacked in one day.
I will return with further instructions when the time is right.
When's that?
Well, not now.
Okay. Well, D, D, and D. Ooh, the walking. I don't know, this movement. It's kind of weird. Oh. Am I locked in here? Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Amazon drones. They got the Amazon drones already. Oh no. We're really being replaced as a species. The Self-Love and Well-Being Guide. You can't break into my house with your drone. It's creepy. And why is it laggy? Hold on. Maybe it's me? I don't know why it would be... Maybe I'll lower the full screen some. Wait, did that do it? I don't know. Keep going. Oh. Oh, glasses. Whoa. Epic. This is my severance pay. A pair of glasses.
You're not quite sure how it happened.
Oh.
But there's a smiling, pink-haired stranger standing just a few feet away from you.
Hi.
You don't remember inviting anyone over. You'd certainly remember inviting someone this cute to your house.
Hey there! Your life is about to change.
Whoa, lady. Calm down. Calm down. I can't marry you. I'm not ready for that, so, thank you, but no thanks.
Hope you're ready.
I'm not ready. Actually, if you listen to what I just said, I can't marry you. That's what you're here for? Shut up, I hate you already. Wow, some of these are really mean. I would like to skip this particular... Oh, you're the glasses.
You know it, but I'm not just any pair of glasses.
Oh, great. More AI coming to
here
talk to
help
me.
you out.
Taking the place of humans. Mm-hmm,
I'm
sure.
a pair of Daviator glasses. My name is Skylar Specs.
Skylar Specs.
Woohoo! My lenses have special properties. They allow you to directly acknowledge a thing's existence or date.
Acknowledge knowledge of things' existence.
All the
Mm-hmm.
things around your house, things you might have taken for granted. Now you have the power to get to know a lot. And I have a feeling, just a silly old little feeling, that it'll help make your and maybe find some love. Love that is all around you.
Oh my god, I would be... This is overwhelming.
Fact, let's go on a date right
Whoa,
now.
lady, whoa, whoa. Can we slow down? Let me get this straight. Today, I started and I was like, oh my god, I have this great remote job I just got that my friend, Sam hooked me up with. I can't wait to get started. CEO was telling me I was so great and everything. I start the job, I do like literally 2 things. And then I'm fired, replaced by AI. I'm set in limbo. And then a hacker hacks my phone. And a drone breaks my front door window and gives me a pair of glasses that start talking to me. Like, is this... Like, what is happening? This is not reality. Like, this is concerning, actually. Like, what's going on? But I... What? I'm not ready for that.
Oh, it's okay. It won't hurt.
What?
Yet.
What?
Just kidding. I'm a kidder. I find it easier to cover my feelings in low-hanging humor to... Yeah, I'm sad inside. So, we are going to awaken our first dateable object.
Okay, so I don't have an option.
Go
Okay,
to a
great.
door, any door, and shoot some...
Alright. I want to talk to... Can I talk to the... I can talk to the table. I can talk to the couch. I want to talk to the cork? Oh. I have to talk to the door? I don't want to talk to the door. Wait, can I talk to a couch? Nope, I have to talk to a door. Fine. He's controlling my every move. I can't even talk to the curtains.
You're still standing in your house, but the unbelievable amount of bouncer energy radiating from the tall stranger who's just appeared in front of you would have you believe you're standing outside of a club.
No funny business. I
Hmm.
don't want to see those spectacles being used for something untoward.
Okay, voice. Okay. Hey, door. How you doing, door? Met a new dateable. Dorian. Oh, did it go down? Oh, yeah. I see the things drop. Oh, we're good? It's okay? Yeah, I saw it drop for a second.
Hey,
Front Dorian.
Trust me, this
Ah,
is going
Dorian.
super well.
Yeah, you know, the humor in this, I feel like all those, like, dating games that are, like, funny dating games, they always have a very, like, weird humor that, you know, gets a couple of, like exhales through your nose, but, you know, not much past that. I don't know.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I'm just looking for love. Me, I'm just along for the ride. I am Chaos Reborn. I would like to skip this particular conversation. I'm just along for the ride, you know. I don't really have a choice in this, sir, so...
I'll believe it when I see it.
After awakening an object for the first time, you get to speak with each object once per day.
Once per day?
We get a little knackered by using this newfangled date viator rubbish, you see.
Sometimes when you reach a certain level of affection with a dateable object, your relationship status changes. There are 3 statuses: love, friendship, and
It's like, what was it, Dad? Dream Daddy? Dream Daddy also has that kind of, like, comedy
love can get
writing
reports of
that is
really
like,
special paths for those you are truly interested in.
But it's not necessarily the best of the options in my mind.
And the monster proms can also have a little like, okay with the comedy, yeah. But there were some real actual like funny moments from those games too.
If everyone were friends, the world would be an awful lot safer, in my opinion. I've seen the complications of love. I've lived through the jealous quarrels of hate.
How? You're a door.
The true bond is one between two friends with none of the intricacies of romantic tension.
That's our bouncer Dorian talking, but you can go toward whichever one you like. Even hate, which isn't my fave personally.
Oh, I can hate people
You
in this?
speaking of Reggie?
Reggie.
Ugh, don't
Human, you seem like a good sort. So we'll be friends.
Okay.
For now.
I mean, you are my front door, so, you know, if I want to get in my house, I think it would be good for me to be friendly with my front door. Friends. Got a new friend.
Feels good, yeah? But friendship gets you even more than that.
It would be so dystopian to find out every object in your house is alive, or, like, has sentience. Like, you couldn't do anything in your house ever again. You'd be constantly feeling like you're being watched. It would be a nightmare for me.
I call it specs points. Take a look at this cool personality chart. Number go up.
Whoa. Ass? Humorless. Charm. Your parents love you, they just don't like you very much. Empathy, you regularly need to be reminded what people are. Like watching a baby. Oh, so that's my status. Right now I'm unruffled, I have no poise. And I have no smarts. Okay.
Each dateable object has points to give whenever you achieve an official relationship status. Get more of them to be able to choose some more.
I get real smart when talking to my... What's something smart in my house? My computer, I guess. My tablet. Okay.
You wear it well.
I get poise from him?
Check out your specs. We gotta talk to your
Duty calls, love.
Bye, Dory. Take out your phone and then shoot my.
Talk to my phone. Okay. Oh, escape. Awaken your phone. Oh, I turned it off. Ah. What your bar has to say? Ooh. What object would I love to hear speak to me? I don't know. I don't know if there's a like specific object I'm like, oh my god, I know you have a lot of stuff to say. I'll think on that. A beautiful stranger with a dazzling smile appears in front of you, shooting you a knowing wink.
Turns that megawatt smile your way.
Hey there. Ooh, I like it much better up here where I can see your face.
Oh, okay. And now your phone is talking.
Your phone? We'll see about that. You gotta win me over first, honey.
You not my phone? Am I not doing payments? You know, now it's turning into like some weird, you know, object rights stuff. But, you know, I got you from the store. I had to do multiple payments.
Of course, to do that,
So, it does seem like you're my phone. But, you know, let's not get into that, I guess. These tattoos. Here's a battery tattoo. I like I really like the art and the design of these. I love these hats. Bonica.
Hey there! Oh, you must be Skylar. Glad we've got the
I've been doing a little tutorial with her about how things work.
Oh, well, my sweet human.
Oh, I'm your human, but you're not my phone. I see how that looks. What? Will you fall in love with me? What kind of schedule does a phone have? Look, I'm not a puppy dog. I'm not a puppy dog. I'm real cool.
Oh boy, sorry. Yeah, I'm so used to you talking through me and not to me that I should address you with the proper level of respect. Anyway, I installed some apps on your phone that are only accessible when you put on your glasses.
Okay.
Bring out your phone, put on the glasses, and you'll see some new ones. One of them is an app Skylar
Yeah, the
made
ween.
called the Date
Yeah,
Box.
this just brings in a lot of like more philosophy we have to think of. If objects have sentience, then we own nothing and need to treat them with a level of respect. You need to have a conversation with them in order to, yeah. There's a lot that this brings up.
It's my way to keep track of all sorts.
Because there are.
Okay, let's.
You know what? Maggie the magnifying glass also. Oh, gotta run! Another call coming in. Bye, Phoenicia.
Phoenicia. Ooh, Phoenicia. Okay. How much more do we have?
You have to meet 2 more of us. Now, go awaken the
Which, of course, is conveniently located on its own little shelf next to me.
Do we own our pets? Pets is a very nice. Yeah, we own them. I guess there's no way for them to communicate partnership. They just live where we put them. So yeah, this shelf is dateable. The magnifying glass is standing on something.
Air of mystery to the private eye that stands before you. She reminds you. She gives you a scrutinizing glare through her magnifying glass, one eye comically enlarged.
Well, well, well. What have we
Well.
Aha!
Maggie, I like Maggie.
You're not a suspect, are you?
No. Why is this an option every time? I would like to skip this competition. No, not.
A witness, then.
The what?
Just as I thought. Maggie, it's our human's first day talking with us. Go a little easy on her. Interesting. These glasses come in from the outside and are already trying to influence my case?
I wonder what my phone would have to say about me, like, throwing it onto a bed like a frisbee from across the room. Would it feel,
Trust me, this human has a lot of potential to make this house
would
a
it feel
better place.
upset that I do that? Or is it fun? Is it like a roller coaster? I'm doing my best. No guarantees.
Truthful. Regardless, as you are the human, I should give you a way. I call this feature Rumors. It's installed on your phone.
Rumors.
Ooh, that's it. Unlike Skylar's Datadex that gives you the lowdown on those you've already met, Rumors tracks clues you've been given to locate.
Rumors is how I
for
find the
rounding up
hiding
suspects,
objects.
Tracking down evidence and getting a sense of the household scuttlebutt.
Cool.
It'll be tough, but worth it. The more you find, the better your specs will be. Take a look at Rumors in your phone.
And this is just
It'll help you
like
find your way to your last dateable
peak
today.
unemployed person doing things. Like, I get fired and immediately the thing I do is I start walking around my house and talking to things. Talking to objects in my house.
Good luck, Gumshoe.
It's getting late. Who should be the last one we talk? Oh, check out that rumor.
Okay. Oh, get off. Rumors. Not him, it's you. Reggie. Tinfoil hat. Oh, is that thing not there? That drone left? Okay. So wait, I need to... What do I need to do? I need to... Wait, okay. Let me look at rumors again. Follow the clue in rumors to use your day final turn. What clue? Maggie thinks you should talk to your bed next. Upstairs in your room, first door on the left. Mention someone named Reggie when you first met him. Okay. I just need to go to my bed. Ooh, see, you're sleeping on someone? Now you deal with that? Okay, so one of these. Oh, I got a nice workout room. Oh, I got some medals? Wow. Okay, big whiff. Second to last. Oh, yeah. I'm doing great. Doing great participation and all this stuff. Okay, light switch is a thing. And is it just, okay, there's many light switches, so is it just one light switch, or they're like, whoa, are there like 5 of them? Did I not turn it down or something? I don't know why it's like stuttery. Apply. Maybe that'll make it a little better. Okay, so I gotta talk to my bed.
Standing here in your bedroom, you're struck by the realization that it's been entirely too long since you had anyone near your bed who wasn't, well, you. How strange then, that the beauty standing before you feels so familiar, even though you're certain you've never seen her in your life. She's all curves and comfort, a soft body and softer facial
Hey, this brings in
features
some
that seem
weird
to
stuff to
invite
me
one
again.
closer subconsciously.
I'm laying on you
Positively
all these years now, and now we gotta get in the conversation of like, oh, I've been using you without like knowing you're real. You see, you've just been watching me.
Hey there, stranger.
Oh. Hi. Why do I feel like I know you?
Because you do. I'm Betty, and I'm your bed.
Betty.
We've been sleeping together so many years, it would be a little weird if you didn't know me.
Whoa. I have been sleeping, I feel like I definitely remember sleeping with someone of that.
But we can make some new memories from here on.
Okay.
It's a shame for someone.
Whoa, my bed is very hard. Oh my god. Whoa.
Will you be bringing someone back here anytime soon?
Whoa. Whoa. It's not really my thing.
Oh, I see. But you know, even if it isn't, there are so many other nice things you can do in bed with a partner. Cuddling, for one. Reading side by side.
Her outfit is sick. The designs are really good. I mean, I like sex, I'm just not there. Okay. What is this? This is what I would say, but I don't want to be like... Okay, let's just keep...
That's wonderful. Some of the most intimate acts are non-sexual, you know. I wish more people understood that. Oh, by the way, Skylar told me everything. But don't you worry, I might be here now, but you can still sleep in your bed just like you always do.
Yeah, I can.
You can choose to talk to me or not.
I can just roll around on my bed, you know, rot in my bed all day long, and you have no objections or reasonings for not wanting that. You're completely fine with all this.
But I do hope you'll come talk to me. It'd be nice to finally get to know each other.
Keep dreaming, lady. Sure, yeah, why not?
Oh, how lovely. Come back soon then, cutie. Well, anyway, I'll be here. See you tonight.
Sounds like I have no choice. I mean, that's really what I would like. What? Okay, see you tonight. I'm not.
See you then.
Sorry, I'm late. I took a look at. We can talk about it later. Today, I kept you on a tight schedule, but tomorrow.
Oh, hitting the hay already?
Hitting the hay.
Comfortable then. Good night.
See you tomorrow.
Dating games have always been an interesting dilemma for me as someone who's dammy. It's always a, do you want to do this person right now or not at all thing? And I can't help but think, how could anybody decide? Yeah, that's how I feel. Okay, so do I turn these off and then go to sleep? Yeah. Just all of a sudden, like, yeah.
Good morning.
Okay.
Are you ready to start? Maybe finally find some love?
Why am I doing this?
Glad you asked. I was sent to you for a reason. Mysterious reason.
I know what the reason is.
Until I know that I can trust you. Since there's no one else here you could ask about it, I'd recommend doing the only thing you can do and date. You always have a choice. You can always just leave. Any other questions?
I guess that's it. I mean,
That might be it for this little date theater, but I think we're gonna see a whole lot more than we ever imagined pretty soon.
okay.
Let's date!
I mean, on one hand, I would definitely have like a existential thing, but on the other hand, it'd be like, why would you pass it up? You know, if you can talk to things you've never talked to before, I would definitely do it. I'd just be like, oh my god, the world is the world is crazy and I know nothing about it. I want to talk to the pirate.
A petite pirate glares at you. There's so much to take in here. But you don't dare to get a good look in when he looks like he's contemplating running you through.
Oh, he's a short king pirate. This looks like Aaron Hansen.
Oh, look. It's you. Come to make fun, have you?
Make fun of who?
Who else do you see? Do you legitimately imagine anything that cascaded out of that prompting nagging mouth of yours?
Whoa, this man is aggressive.
Do you honestly believe I can be shocked?
You look shocked to me.
I am emotionally quite contained. In fact, one could say I am quite bottled up. Trapped within tubular glassy
Okay, let's see. He's got the pin cushion for like a thing. He's got like a plastic sword with a safety pin holding it up. Buttons. Oh, there's like a bottle cap and a thimble. Some like rosemary. And I don't know what this little chick is. Oh, it's a peep? It's a peep with an eye patch? Aw, I like this design. Well, what would you like to be doing instead?
I would like to be questioned. I would like to find
You'd like adventure.
I would like to pin said enemy down. I would like to blast my cannon with his glorious, deafening, bone-rattling crack. Blow him off the face of the earth amongst the decimated corpse of theirs.
How about you and I play Sea of Thieves? Huh? Think you'd like that, yeah?
Anything, everything, to that glorious netherworld.
Cool. You have enemies?
I do.
Wanna... it's dangerous. It's dangerous to keep that bottled up.
The wind of the hunt cracking, the spray flying, the bowsprit dripping bloody avarice as you come for me.
Yeah. I actually didn't mean to insult you, though.
The line is crossed. Your pitiful life is forfeit to my magnificence.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome.
Nothing cool about it, blackguard. I will destroy you.
You're gonna kill me?
Dear sweet Davy Phones, if you insist on reducing everything to its simplest expression, yes, I am going to kill you.
How are you gonna kill me?
Witness to your undoing.
I'm bearing. I'm bearing.
Can you not feel it? Do you beg for
My hands are up.
for mercy from the
Oh my god, I'm so terrified.
I conjure to plow the fathomless flood?
Oh my god, please. You want me to beg? I thought you were gonna kill me.
Of course I am. I am right now.
I like this guy. He's a hoot. He's a hoot and a holler.
And dangling you bits from the rigging to tempt the crowd.
Oh, he just wants to role play. He's a little lonely. He just wants to role play a little. I'm telling you, man, you would love Sea
You
of
take a
Thieves.
moment to inspect yourself. Your limbs and bits all appear to be just where you left them.
Seems like you're talking a lot about it and not doing anything.
I am. I'm filleting your sorry rind. In my mind.
Oh, speculative stabbing.
Damn your hide, speculative! It's as real as the snap of sail in the wind, the squish of flesh and bone as it makes way for my blade.
That was kind of poetic.
Ugh. Poetry. Never could stomach the stuff.
But you speak so beautifully.
Hold fast there.
So,
I do not speak beautifully. I am the fearsome Captain Jack Sparrow. I am the
man, it's hard to talk to this guy. He doesn't really... I feel like we're not really having a conversation. He's just, like, talking at me.
I spout the macabre. I vomit forth danger. And there is nothing beautiful in my world, least of all my damn self.
Whoa, man, whoa. But, I mean, you're beautiful. You're a beautiful guy. You look beautiful to me.
Jack makes a strange noise, almost akin to a growl. He looks...
What was that? You drowning?
Nothing. I was hoping you would argue with me and I could try and kill you again. It makes me growl when people are conciliatory.
You don't like it when people are nice to you?
Haven't you been paying attention? I want conflict. One more first step out of you, and I swear to Davy Phones I'll swing you from the yard.
To Davy Phones. You even try it, and I'll decimate you with a rolled up Time magazine, bub.
Let there be blood. I load my cannon with heavy iron rounds to tear through anything and everything you might pray to put between us.
Yeah, we're roleplaying now. Ah, yes, cannon. I can evade that easily. I'll turn my face fully to you. No broadside today, buccaneer.
You've picked up one smidge of strategy from some painted tavern doxy, and you imagine yourself my equal?
You're equal and so much more.
The Muxie! My pantaloons tent in anticipation.
What? Oh. What?
Jack falls silent, his cheeks ruddy. Perhaps he didn't intend to say that.
Hey man, I thought we were role-playing and all of a sudden it turns into ERP? Whoa. Oh. Kinda forward there, my guy.
Jacques looks all around the room as he speaks, one hand awkwardly clutching his sword handle. You've never seen him look so unsure of himself.
You know, I just remembered that I have to swab the deck. Yeah, the deck needs a good swabbing before I do any intercourse. Killing and battling and all the other lovely violent things.
What?
So, another time? Post-swab?
Post-swab, okay.
You bastard.
You scallywag. Yeah, go put your sword away, man. I don't know. Interesting. Oh, my controller. Oh, I can't talk to my controller. What should we talk to next? Ooh, the piano? Get this globe. We get this window. Did I go outside? No. Okay, another door. Back door. Lamp. Table. Oh, candles. You think they're French? We got record player. Light switch. Ooh, bowl of fruit. Bowl of fruit? Now how does a bowl of fruit work? Doesn't it rot? So are they just dying? Oven mitt. Salt and pepper. Microwave. Oh, the oven fan. Oh, I can talk to the cabinet. And then the seasonings. I can talk to the fridge. Where's the bathroom? Let's talk to a toilet or something. Yeah. Yeah, let's talk to the toilet. I want to see what the toilet got to say.
There's a strange rapper standing in your bathroom where the
Oh.
toilet usually is. He's dressed in white
Oh,
and
no.
while his outfit is clean, the look he gives you is downright dirty. While you might be curious about this toilet man, it seems more than clear that curiosity doesn't go both ways.
Maybe it's the bowl, not the fruit. Could be. Or fake fruit. Oh, that might make more sense. Probably. Okay, you gonna rap? Hey. I gotta pee. Open up. So, you're the toilet, huh? Okay, actually, if there was anything I wouldn't want to talk to, if all the objects in my house were left, I wouldn't want to talk to the toilet. The toilet does not need to have a conversation with me. That would literally change my life. If I've talked to the toilet, and the toilet has opinions, mm-mm.
The toilet man springs into action, raising his hands to his mouth as he begins to beatbox.
Oh, okay.
The rapper, he knows how to go. Plumbing and drumming or both about flow. You black these pipes, he'll be ending your life when he slams your head into the bowl. Oh, on a toilet roll. Jean-Luc Pissoir, out of control. Over, under, never, blunder. Speaking more words than an ancient scroll.
Okay, the beat's pretty good. Shit. Holy crap.
No. Holy crap was Jean-Luc's old stage name. Now he is Lil Crapper. More secular.
A French rapper.
Wider appeal, you know?
Little crapper.
You know Lil Crapper? You love him. Everybody does.
I don't like you, man. I don't. I'm sorry. Jean-Luc Pissoir. Pissoir.
You come to hear his pizza. Or maybe you ate the pizza. You come to take a seat so you can deposit the food you eat.
If my toilet rapped at me, I could not handle that. No. No, man. Oh, no. This is when I'd have to leave. I'd have to leave and, like, go out in nature, and then I'd be traumatized in nature. Like, does the tree talk? Does the grass talk? Do the animals talk? I would be, oh.
Don't know me? Don't know me? This human thinks that they
Oh, he's constantly rapping.
on my mind and always one thing only. I'm a rapper, the best you see in a shining dream and porcelain. He's like a bidet, only spitting the truth, going down quicker than gin and vermouth. They call him a party mouse, letting the naughty out, but that's a way to impute to the youth.
Oh, he's not bad. He's not that bad, but oh man, it's taken a lot out of me. It's taken a hit.
Not nice. It is the best because Lil Crapper is the best. You want to be like Lil Crapper? You want to meet him on his level? You want others to love you like they love him? Impossible.
Impossible.
The ladies love nobody as much as him. The amount of ass he gets would make you weep.
No, don't say that. Oh no.
In fact, it is not just the lady asses. Lil Crapper accepts any ass. He is not picky. He accommodates. But some do not accommodate. These are the people he has no time for. Those who don't understand his syncopated singing, they do their business, they leave, he does not talk to them.
Oh, so is he like a toilet with a bidet? Do the bidets make like the do bidets make the little like dinging sounds? Like, you know how like a oven makes like dingies? Do bidets make sounds? What sounds are you talking about?
You want to hang with Lil Crapper? You do as he does.
I have to rap every time I go. I have to rap every time I go to the bathroom. Can't rap.
Not just rap. You need to show him that you can crap.
No, I don't want to show you that. I don't want to show you that. I'm sorry. Excuse me?
Crap. Crapping. Short for cool rapping. Lil Crapper is always crapping. Now it's your turn.
Jean-Loup makes a dismissive gesture.
That is their problem. Lil Crapper, he is ahead of the curve. He is a wordsmith, eh? He is like Voltaire, French, and smarter than you. On a related note, Voltaire was my number 2 pick for my nom de plume.
Nom de plume, I know that word from Aladdin. How am I gonna learn how to rap?
Not from Lil Crapper. Lil Crapper is not a teacher, he is a test. You study on your own time. You cannot keep up, you fail. But if you can match his rapping skill, then you will be able to woo anybody. If you have the skills to woo Lil Crapper, then any partner will be within your reach. In fact, if you can match Lil Crapper in a crap battle, then he will fall in love with you.
But all I've ever wanted is a pasty narcissist bolted to the bathroom floor. Is there any other way? I love this.
Cease your flattery. Lil Crapper's art is immune to all forms of romance unless they are accompanied by a backing beat. So,
okay.
What do you see? Do you have what it takes to face Jean-Loup?
Let's give it a try.
You are wrong!
I'm wrong.
Jean-Loup knows you. You are the chatin, the
Whoa.
faceless
Oh.
loser.
Oh. Whoa. My toilet? My toilet's telling me this? I'm a shut-in, a kissless loser, and my toilet's telling me this?
You have enthusiasm for rap. Lil Crapper sees this, but enthusiasm alone
no.
is not enough. The rapping, she comes from that, like that little rubber bit that comes undone sometimes and the water keeps running forever. You know the bit.
It's right there.
You need to experience life before you can spit it out and alternating phonies into some sort of
My life has hit rock bottom. I'm talking to my toilet. And my toilet is dissing me.
As you are, you have no chance to defeat Jean-Loup.
Doesn't even want to rap battle me. I'm too he doesn't even think I can even live up to his rap.
You want to clash talons with these 2 gallant stallions? Go! Return to Lil Crapper.
Little Crapper, I'm not coming back. You've ruined it for me. I don't even want to talk to anyone else. Oh, the trash can. I don't want to talk to the trash can. Trash can. Hey, maybe we'll talk to the cereal. Coffee maker. The dishwasher. The towel. Let's talk to the towel. The hand towel.
It's not all that surprising
Oh.
that two towels would have a look that one can only describe as fresh out of the shower. The fluffy terry cloth
Very
clothing and
fluffy.
glistening skin are expected. What you did not expect to see, however, was a six-pack you could do your laundry on.
Ooh, so true. Scrub a lot of stuff.
Hold still.
Huh?
He holds his hands out in front of him, stopping you in your tracks.
What? What? What's wrong? What did I do?
Do anything.
He backs away from you, slowly and carefully.
Just don't move. Ooh, there's some water on the floor. Let me get that before you slip and fall.
He bends down to mop up a tiny puddle, standing back up with...
There, all good.
I like towel. You didn't have to do that for me.
It's my pleasure. Some might say that I saved your life. Hey, hey!
Tyrell. Mm-hmm.
Did you see that dude?
Yes, you're my hero.
I may be soft, but I'm hard against spills.
He mimes playing a trumpet, imitating the instrument.
I dry as quick as my wit. If you get wet, don't get upset. Isn't that right, my absorbent sidekick?
He holds out a small swan-shaped towel for your inspection.
Whoa, I don't even know how to fold these. Couldn't even do that. I'm impressed. Squack. Okay. Whoa, what is it? You have a sidekick?
Kinda. This is little Buddy. He's pretty cool. I can fold him into anything I want. Today, a swan. Tomorrow, who knows what the fabric of the universe will weave? I mean, I only know how to fold like two others. It keeps me busy between cleaning spills and warming up your body.
Warming up my body, you say? Ooh, saucy.
Who doesn't like being close to someone? I'm just lucky that it's a part of my job. Spills happen every day, no big thing. But the hard part is getting dry. For the big jobs, I work with Washford and Drysdale.
Washford and Drysdale. The washer and drying machine. I can make a bit of a mess, I know.
Regardless, I'm pretty dependable. It takes someone of strong woven integrity to be as reliable as me, you know?
Surely you have bigger aspirations.
Oh, like you have bigger ones? What do you want?
Yeah, to travel the world and eat all the good stuff, but have it all be free. I love that.
Sounds impossibly ambitious. There are things I want to do, but my job is important, you know? Those spills ain't gonna unspill themselves.
True.
I won't be spilling things to you until I get to know you better. So, let's make it next time you see me. I'll show you something cool. And maybe I'll tell you a bit about myself. I'll show you an idea I have.
Okay. Okay. What's this? I don't know what that thing is. This is Wash and Drydell or whatever they said. Oh. There's some vases. Wait, is this just a detergent? What is that's... Wait, are those... Wait, what are those? Like detergent or something. Sponges. Detergent. Oh, I have a message.
Hey! How's things in labor limbo? You been using all that extra time to do anything fun?
Kinda.
Weirder?
I've got a lot weirder.
What, just out of nowhere? So what was it?
These glasses, I can do weird
what?
things. Into a person, sort of.
I know you've been watching too much anime. What do you mean?
That's not all, though.
Is there?
I might be developing relations with them. I'm getting to know
You
them.
understand how insane you sound right now, right?
Yeah.
If you were literally anyone else, I'd be like, oh, this person thinks I'm stupid. You're serious? You're not fucking with me?
I'm 1000% serious.
What do you mean? Like, how? What? You seriously have magic date furniture fuck glasses?
Don't respect the date viators.
Date viators? This is too much. I'm not equipped to process this today. I'm logging off. Goodbye.
Hey, a friend that actually believes you when you say crazy stuff is pretty good. Good friend. My data decks. Dorian. Okay, I know. I think Rosie D is the fridge, isn't he? Or is he the trash can? I'm gonna talk to the fridge.
You'd hoped you'd meet your
Oh.
refrigerator, but it seems he's already busy with another guest.
Freddy, this is all rather dull.
No, he's something
How
else.
can you say that when you haven't heard the coolest part?
Well, they're talking to each other. Okay, sandwich. Sandwich, or what is just like leftovers? It's like made of, like, what is that? Peanut butter and jelly, avocado toast, bread, lettuce, spaghetti or something?
The point in which gelatin goes from a liquid to a solid. Can you guess the temperature?
Certainly.
Oh, sorry, my mom just came and told me some news. Hey, fridge guy.
Guess for me.
I do not guess. Perhaps this human would like to essay an attempt.
Gelatin?
Wow! How did you know?
I don't think it's like it doesn't have to freeze to solidify.
I must be on my way to a more interesting conversation.
Now alone, the massive Yeti turns his attention to you. You want to speak to him, but it takes you a few moments to process what you're seeing. Yep, that is indeed a Yeti. Massive.
Huh. He ran you with the answers and the listening. That can only mean one thing.
The thing is,
with you standing in the kitchen, I'm no longer the coolest thing in here.
Hey, that was kind of sweet.
That's me. I try to be sweeter than that chocolate bar you've been hiding from yourself inside the butter drawer.
Oh, whoa, calm down. Okay, calm down.
Don't worry, I'll never tell. But really, to what does old Freddy here owe the pleasure?
Freddy Yeti.
Oh, did you make another order to food fetch? What did you get this time?
See, this is why I couldn't do it. They're all making, like, comments.
Did you order sushi? Oh, I love it when you get those little rolls that you have the tiny bubbles on top. No, wait. You know what we haven't had in a while? Burritos. But you might want to hold back on the beans because, well, you know why.
What? What are you talking about?
Farts? Sorry, I know that's not the best thing to talk about, but I'm just giving you bean consumption tips.
They're just judging me. They all judging me. They all know stuff about me that only I'm supposed to know.
Are you feeling fancy today? You look fancy, cool kid. I bet you were feeling fancy. I got it. You ordered my favorite. That duck from the one place that I can never pronounce. I love duck.
You eat it? What else do you like?
Burger? Chicken tenders? Empanadas? Oh, I love when you use food fetch. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, the kitchen would... Especially when there's, like, ice cream. If there's ice cream in the fridge, I'm the one who kills the chocolate ice cream. I do. So, yeah. That would be the judgment. I'd be like, oh my god, that hits a bit too hard.
As endless as they can be within a 10-mile radius.
Food Fetch is a ripoff. I'm trying to cut back.
Oh, why didn't you say so? You hungry? What can we get you? We've got those leftovers from that tie-me-to-the-moon place.
I wouldn't want to reach into somebody to eat food. I don't know.
High on life. Which will it be?
See, this is disturbing me too. My food is in you? Oh, I don't know. Cake does sound really good.
Yummy! I like big bunts and I cannot lie.
Bunt cake.
I'm still surprised that you had the willpower to save this thing. This peaches and cream bunt cake is just bursting with flavor. No peach flavoring here, cool kid. They use the real I did try it out a bit as I held it for you. Easy fix though. Get 2 paper towels, kinda moist, put one under the slice and one over it, and slide it into the microwave.
The microwave?
Trust me, just for like 20 seconds or so. Kapow!
Hey, that sounds like actually real.
You can't help but take a bite.
That sounds like actually real good advice. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that going forward. That was real life advice. Wait, who else? We have one more we can talk to. I think we gotta do the piano. Gotta do the piano. Piano's too big to not talk to.
A beauty dressed in black and gold stands before you, her eyes closed and one hand held delicately to her chest. She sways softly, silently, as though she were listening to music you can't hear. The silence is so long and profound that you begin to notice just how noisy your house is. You can hear your clock ticking. The silence persists, and this stranger continues to ignore you, lost in her own world. Whatever it is that she's doing, she's clearly very serious about it.
Oh, what's happened?
You introduce yourself, and yet still she does not open her eyes.
Are you okay?
Finally, she opens her eyes, heaving a polite but obviously impatient sigh.
I'm a bigger frozen yogurt person. The small Haagen-Dazs, or however it's spelled. Haagen-Dazs, is that ice cream? You know, I got into the, what is it? No, it's not Baskin Robbins. What is it? Ben and Jerry's. The, like, little Ben and Jerry's, like, pints. And I really like the, like, chocolate brownie one. But recently they made the chocolate brownie, non-dairy. And it tastes different. And I had it and I was like, this is just not as good. And I had just started eating the chocolate brownie one. And so now I'm sad. Because I didn't even see, they don't have the like non-dairy and the dairy. It's just completely non-dairy. At least when I seen it both times.
Maestro?
Maestro. Made me scared there for a second. How's it going?
The performance? It was coming along nicely.
Oh. Seemed like you were just standing there. Yeah,
That was door 33. Surely you recognized it.
She is so pretty. I like her hair. I like her design. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Yeah, companies can't change recipes. It should be illegal, actually. They shouldn't be able to do that unless it's like cancer in there. But other than that, you should keep the same recipe that I like all the time. And only change it when I don't like it.
3 seconds long by the composer John Gage. Honestly, the man was a genius. I mean, the idea that music can exist without the presence of a single note. Breathtaking. You know, the very first time I played it was when I was in residence with the Dulce Mio.
Dulce
You two
Mio.
have met, I'm assuming?
No, what the hell are you talking about? Dulce, is that Dulcimer?
No.
Dulcimer?
Dulce Mio is completely different pronunciation, spelling, and comportment. Anyway, our audience that night was completely hopeless. They all kept waiting for the music to start, as if they couldn't already hear it.
She's like one of those, she's like one of those very artistic people that, like, you gotta, like, have a expanded mind to...
A rustling program, a muffled cough. It was all being performed in real time, but they kept staring at Dulce and I like we were the Philistines. Still, it was one of my finest performances to date. It also didn't hurt that Dulce had requested to work with me specifically. I can't tell you just how often that seems to happen. The talent always just seems to flock to me. Speaking of, what is that bizarre little refrain you've been playing over and
See, now
over
the
as you
hobby
pass by
things
my
are
keyboard?
judging me. They're all judging
It
me.
almost seems like music. Very atonal.
It's the hold music. I can't get out of my head.
Valdivian, is he a composer?
No, a company I used to work for.
I must say I'm rather confused now. Well, whatever you are playing, I look forward to its
Okay. Keys.
So long, Maestro.
I gotta find ProZD. Who I knew of the game. Oh, let's crouch. Run through my house. I think he's the trash can. Oh, I forgot there's a whole exercise room. Oh, infused box. Uh-oh. Oh, I gotta turn it off to talk to her. I mean, to sleep. More objects. Okay, let's try the trash can. I think he's something.
When you turned your gaze on
No,
your trash can,
this is
you
not.
were expecting shiny metal and black plastic. Damn it, you expected the garbage. What you weren't expecting was the handsome face, sculpted jaw, and delicate peaks of skin artfully framed by actual garbage. This garbage lurker, for his part...
Huh? What?
What?
Huh?
Damn. Hey man, what's up?
Things that aren't down, I guess.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I make those from time to time. Try not to look so shocked. Have anything for me today?
What do you mean?
We do this every day, lady. What'd you bring?
Oh, well, let me check. He's
I'll
like...
just wait.
Oh, I've got a peel.
Clementine, huh? I'm guessing you're not throwing away a song about the California gold rush in 1849.
No, it's a fruit.
Okay.
Okay. I have no smarts. And I ate it. I don't like eating the peel.
Well, I do. Nice haul. I'll take it.
Thanks. Glad to be rid of it.
Always glad to help you, I guess.
You hand your trash over to Cam, and he takes it from you, pocketing it without another...
And you're still here.
Yeah, aren't we like gonna talk or hang out or something?
Wasn't planning on it.
So now what then?
Now you go. Go. Be free. Damn, Chuckles. Bye.
Okay. Oh, it wasn't really nice to me, but that's okay. What else we got? What's that? There's a toaster, coffee machine, there's an oven. Oh, the fridge and the freezer, are they all different? Okay, why are these like two separate things? Fridge total. Can I? Oh, that's how you open it. This is how I can talk to the internals. Knives. Oh, look at this little guy, little chicken guy.
A burly chef
Oh.
stands in your kitchen, looking at you expectantly as he stirs a sauce pot.
That wasn't
His
what I thought
intimidating
that
stature,
was.
There's warmth in the depths of his dark eyes.
You must be my new sous chef. I'm Stefan.
Stefan.
Hey,
I guess it's the stove. I thought it was the chicken.
are you ready for prep?
Prep?
Stefan regards you in silence for a few long moments.
Then why are you here?
Oh, he's
An adorable chicken-shaped timer slides into the conversation.
Oh, it's his
settling
sidekick.
on Stefan's shoulder.
Look off, Mr.
You're
Cluckles.
Right, Mr. Cluckles. I could stand to be nicer.
He takes a deep breath, steadying himself, then points dramatically at you.
You, what are you doing in my kitchen?
This isn't just your space.
You must have me confused for someone who thinks this kind of thing is funny. I'm busy. I've got a whole lot of folks to feed, and unless you are here to help, I need you to step out of... Wait, do you smell that?
No.
Yet you possess a nose, do you not? I make do with my hood. Yes, I'm preheated. I know. Thank you, Mr. Cluckles. Always keeping me on track. Like some humans who come in my kitchen just to distract me.
Oh, it's a little chicken timer.
Chicken timer offers more help than you can imagine. He understands the type of establishment I'm trying to run around here.
What are you doing? I'm not buying groceries for you to make. What are you even talking about?
Glorious food. Much more important than whatever little quest you happen to be on right now.
Anyone ever tell you how rude you
Of
are?
course they do. And they didn't know a crate from a grape. So I couldn't give a damn about what they say.
Wait, I know the difference.
Go on, shoot. Okay, Mr. Cluckles. All prep start the time.
Okay, everyone's mean to me today. See, this is what in my own house, the things I bought are mean to me. I couldn't deal with this. Okay, what about... Maybe kitchen's not good. What else is out here? TV? Oh, TV gonna judge me now? What do you have to say, TV?
It takes you a moment to
Whoa.
realize that there is not, in fact, a test of the emergency broadcast system standing in your living room. Though the colorful
This is a
figure standing
crazy
across from you
design.
certainly bears
I like
a
it.
striking similarity to that TV classic. Even before they speak, you can feel a frenetic energy in the air, like someone switching between channels at high speed.
Yo, yo, yo! Don't touch that dial, cinephile! Because my favorite studio audience is now in attendance!
I love this TV hair thing. That looks cool as hell. The static jumpsuit. Battery boots.
And sometimes wooer.
I think these glasses would be great at a shop you want to figure out which furniture you want. If I'm gonna know they're sending out one of some... Yeah, you'd have to talk to them beforehand. You couldn't... And then people couldn't gift you objects either. Because you'd need to... Or they'd have to, like, vet them. Like, oh yeah, this toaster's pretty cool. You know, we've talked a bit. And, so I want you to have it.
How can I cater to my greatest
No.
spectator?
Ooh, I like being catered to.
Then let's get ready to rumble! Before we get to what's on my screen, let me properly set the scene. The name's Telly. Rhymes with Nelly. Like, whoa, Nelly! Did you know Telly offers 5,000 channels like an endless deli?
I like Telly. Oh yeah, the shoes are remotes. Oh, I like it.
So ask not what your can you dig it?
Wow, 5,000, really?
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
5,000 channels is the most.
It was something that I know you've come over and enjoyed my microwaves company. They wanted a bit of change and I thought you might like them. Yeah, it would be... Ooh, it would be... Yeah, it'd be... I guess a conversation every time.
5,000 channels of cheers!
But people are still making... People are still making the object, so how does that even work? Are they the parents, or what's happening there?
Or even
Viewloo. Valid fix.
Telly shows a must-see. They
Their programming's just musty.
Yeah, I don't really watch TV like that. How's your pricing?
Prohibitively expensive.
Typical.
Can't fault a TV for trying. Anyway, since you're here, my dear, why don't you just kick back and recline? Unwind from the grind and free view that cue till you go blind.
Sounds great. I have no job.
Programming, loading,
I'll chill out on the couch and watch some TV.
optimizing for comedy, haha, analyzing for reality, boo-hoo. Pratfalls and close calls from straight to your eyeball. Yeah, Mr. White. Yeah, science, bitch. I found 15,000 shows you wouldn't oppose. So what genre can I impose on you with my flawless flows?
Reality competition, home renovation, local community access. Let's do some reality competition.
So that's who you giving your rose to? Looks like the tribe has spoken.
I haven't watched the Love Island. I know everyone's watching that. I haven't watched that. I don't really watch those much. The Circle, though? The Circle is my reality TV one that I watch, usually, when it comes out. Very clever.
I'll assault you with my pop culture. Hey, look, it's a slant rhyme. It works. All right, my delight. I'll give you a reality infusion in 4K. Cougar versus thrust into the wilderness and stranded in a remote location miles from any plastic surgeons. 10 older, attractive women must rely on their wit, resourcefulness, and cunning.
No, I kind of want to see this.
And outsmart their adversaries. 10 actual cougars.
I would watch this.
Tensions running high and
That would be a crazily irresponsible show, but it would be fun to watch.
And the women must dig deep within themselves to prove once and for all which cougar has the sharpest claws. So, my daffodil, shall we commence with this TV and chill?
Rhymes like yes.
Let's relax with some snacks while we await the climax and don't.
What's up?
I had this pre-planned and my schedule was unassailable. But that show's not on demand, so the episode's not available.
No. That's okay. Don't worry about it.
No problem, heartthrob. I've got 15. So what genre can I impose on you with my flawless?
Oh my god, how many times am I gonna do this? Home renovation. Let's do one of those.
Alonzi from the creators of Home Balls to the Walls. Hosted by demolition expert Carlos Balls of Steel Balenciaga.
Balls of Steel Balenciaga.
From MC Whammer. No home is safe from the swinging force of Balls to the Wall. So, my beau, does this show make you go, whoa?
I love it. Let's watch it.
Nice. Let me just get a summation of this chessbox.
I've made a huge mistake.
He is not. There's nothing on TV.
Just move to Valdiviflix for more revenue, boo.
Seriously?
Valdiviflix dollars are hard to beat, but I promise. So what genre can
There's nothing on TV. Even the TV can't find anything cool to watch. Maybe I should just... Let's try the last one, local community access.
I just told you that I have... And you want to watch the community access station?
Just kidding.
Okay. Woo! You really had me worried. I was like 30 seconds.
I didn't even notice the different colored eyes, purple and red.
So what genre can I impose on you with my flawless?
Makes sense. Just, one more thing.
What's up?
Look, I don't want to pry, but I gotta know. It's not because you prefer Valdiviflix, right?
Valdiviflix.
Because that'd be a huge blow to my ego.
No, baby, no. Over your quality programming, never.
Oh, thanks, Heidi. That makes me feel naughty. Come back round here later, and I'll show you something body.
Whoa. Okay. Okay, how many more? I got 2 more. Oh, the remote is a separate thing. The fire alarm?
For a moment, it looks as if a
Whoa.
firefighter has appeared in your home, smoke and all. but a closer look reveals the smoke is in fact attached to this apparent firefighter's head. You don't get much of a chance to scrutinize her appearance any further, because the moment she notices you...
Thank heavens you're here. Please, well, don't just stand there. Go get help!
What's wrong?
What do you mean, what's wrong? Don't you see that?
Oh, I gotta change the batteries or unplug her. No need to shout. Could you maybe turn that off?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Let me just...
Anytime now.
Blessed silence.
Got it. Alrighty then. Arma Alarm at your service.
Arma Alarm.
Oh, I'm getting a reading. It's a secret feature.
Tell me.
It's called Content Aware. It goes off when it gives you the chance to see if this dateable might be someone you might want to skip due to content concerns.
What? What does that mean? Oh, is it like trigger warning? What? Tell me more.
If you're worried that you might miss out on points or stuff, don't get. I'll take care of the dirty work. If you're interested, you can turn it on now. You can also turn it on or off anytime I see ya.
Okay, let's turn it on because I don't know what.
Content? Okay. Whoa there. My Content Aware has given me. Arma has gone through some trauma and might even have more in store for her. It could be triggering for people who have dealt with trauma, suicide.
Oh, it's okay. That's interesting to add that in the game like that. To have it be like an actual notice before people start interacting.
Dealing with that kind of behavior in a light way is disagreeable. I wouldn't recommend this one, that's for sure. You cool with that? Or you want to skip it?
Let's just skip it. I don't really want to deal with that.
How would you like your relationship with Arma to resolve?
Oh, I didn't want to skip it permanently. Shoot. Can I go back? Well, okay.
I'd love nothing.
Arma's friendship blazes.
See you around, friend. Aww.
Oh, I didn't want to do that. Shoot.
See ya out there on the...
That is cool though. David, oh wait.
Impressive news out of Valfest. Really too bad that particular partnership is about to hit a rough patch. But then David's never been great at partnerships.
Okay.
I see you've had the opportunity to test out the prototype.
I think it just ended the... Like, I don't know if I can do more interactions with the alarm. It just, like, skips over her thing. So I either make it friends or whatever, and that's just it. You can see me?
I have remote access. Allows me to analyze the back-end system data. Would you think that I just hand over absolute control of a device this powerful?
Oh, chill out.
I'm sorry, that was rash. I'm enormously grateful to you for concealing the prototype. And I'm sorry I dropped all this on you so unexpectedly. I know protecting it is not a responsibility you asked for. Maybe
Protecting it? I'm in danger?
But I had no other choice. Every other Valdivian employee's allegiance was unknowable, except you.
Why me?
Because you're paid the least out of everyone.
Whoa. Whoa.
I can't get into that right now.
My pay was the least?
It's not safe to talk. I will return when the signal is secure.
I was mistreated at my job that I had for one day.
Valdivianites! Yo, yo! It's your boy, David Most! Coming. Hey, did you guys see how dope that presentation was? And I'm like, okay, Dad, if you like my wave so much...
Why is our boss texting when he's drunk?
I just want to say I love you guys. Night-night, nerds. Hey, and I'm like, okay, Dad, if you... I just want to say I love you guys, but not... Night-night, nerds.
You know, I rewatched the B movie yesterday, And man, does that movie actually not make sense at all. Like, it doesn't, it flows weird. Like, it's all over the place. It's just a weird movie in, like, every sense. There's no, like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like there's any payoff or, like, there's any tension, things happen just 'cause. And, yeah, it's really strange. Like, even for a kid's movie, it's just wildly, like, weird. Alright, what's something else we can do? Ooh, blanket? Fuzzy blanket?
Davy!
Ooh.
Davy!
Davy.
Davy, what'd you get off to now? Davy? I hope he's alright.
What's going on?
Oh, hey! I'm sorry, I didn't even see you. I hope you haven't been here too long.
This is so soft and fluffy. This would be a really good person to hug, actually.
I'm Mateo. Mateo Manta.
Mateo.
Blanket.
Very soft. Very fluffy. Very huggable.
I've just been so focused on finding Davy. This is the second time he's wandered off this week. I'm starting to get really worried.
Who's Davy?
Davy's one of my rescues, a young knit bull that I found trapped in the office a few months ago.
A knit bull? Instead of pit bull? A young knit bull?
You wouldn't happen to have seen him around, would you?
Yeah, what's they look like?
He's about an inch tall, hand-dyed, fingering weight, even though he acts like he's worsted, and it's always getting him into trouble. I just keep thinking about him all tangled up somewhere again, trapped and alone. He was in pretty rough shape when I found him the first time.
This blanket rescued a little knit dog.
I wasn't sure if I'd be able to put him back together. It's hard to say. He might have just gotten lost or left behind. But there are certainly things out there who think it's funny to pull on a tasselhound string, you know? They do go missing all the time. Whatever happened, he hung in there. After a few weeks, he bounced right back and was running around with the rest of the tasselhounds.
But you said he keeps going missing?
Yeah, it's become a pretty regular thing with him. He gets on great with the other tasselhounds, and he seems pretty trusting despite what he's been through. But for some reason, he just wanders off whenever you're not looking. It's almost like he waits until I've got my threads full with something else, and then he disappears for a few days.
A small creature that looks rather like a black cat rubs up against
Whoa,
Mateo's leg,
this is like,
meowing for his attention.
These are cords. Extension cords and plugs.
Speaking of handfuls...
Sprite.
Oh, don't worry, Sprite. It's not your fault Davy ran off, I promise.
He bends down to pick up the small creature.
Oh, whoa. Aww.
This is Sprite, one of the first inanimals I ever rescued. Yeah, sweet girl. Been together a long time now, huh? Long enough for you to know better than to go messing with Curtin Rod.
Curtin Rod, Curtin and Rod.
Oh, really?
I don't think she did it. Look how cute she is.
Don't let her fool you. She's a little mischief maker. She'll get you every time. I mean, who can stay mad at that little face?
This is why I don't have any pets.
What do you mean? Yeah, and trust me, they know.
They'd get away with everything.
Well, I'll be hearing about it from Curtin Rod later once they notice the bottom of the curtains are ripped, I'm sure. Honestly,
My curtains?
I think she's just acting out because she's upset about Davy. I was really hoping I'd be able to find him before it got too late.
Oh, he's sad. Oh
Still
no.
a few more places I haven't checked, but I need to get back to the rescue.
My blanket is running a rescue.
Things
A
can
rescue
really start
service.
to, unravel
See, they
if
got
I
a
stay away
whole
for
world
too
that's
long.
happening, and it's like, oh my god. Anything else I could do?
That's kind of you to offer, but I'll figure something out. I'm sure you've got other things to worry about.
I wanna help.
Are you sure? Davy's my responsibility. It's my fault he's missing. I really should have.
Gotta lighten up on yourself.
Depend on me. I can't afford to be careless. It just doesn't feel right asking someone else to fix my mistake.
Not very good at accepting help, are you?
Guilty. I guess I'm just used to being the one helping, not the other way around. And I can't be in both places at once. Alright, if you're really up for it, I do have something you could do.
Hit me.
I put together some information on Davy to give to Phoenicia, just in case he didn't come back tonight. I was going to ask her if she'd make a post on Placebook about him and get the word out.
Placebook? They're posting on Placebook?
But I haven't had a chance to talk to her yet since I was chasing down this little troublemaker instead. Do you think you could talk to her for me? I can give you the packet I made. It's got everything she'll need.
Anything you need.
Really? Me too.
I like this guy. Love this hair too.
Betty keeps joking that I'm going to run out of space for them all.
Got a big heart. I'm sure they're grateful to have
I don't know
you.
about all that.
Look at that blush.
It's just the right. When something needs help, well, you don't give up on it. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk your ear off there. Once I get started talking about them, it's hard to stop. If you're interested, you could always come by the rescue later and we could talk more.
Sure.
Great. Anyway, thanks for offering to help.
Cute. I like Mateo a lot. Gotta talk to my thermostat. My stairs? Gotta talk to my stairs. What is that? My border around the wall? There's that. Oh wait. Stuff in my closet? A stuffed animal? Or is that are those towels? Pillows, box. Oh wait. Okay, gotta sleep. Oh. Gotta sleep and talk to that romance book tomorrow. Gotta do that.
Based on how plastered David was in his last most mail, he must have finally discovered the prototype is missing. He'll sober up soon, though. And when he does, he'll stop at nothing to ensure its retrieval. If he fails, he'll be at the mercy
I'm gonna
of some
do,
very
I think,
powerful
one more
people.
day and then call
We'll
it.
never allow that.
How do you know all this?
I guess it's imperative that we trust each other. And I've been asking you to trust me without being fully transparent. I know all this because
I'm David's son.
the
Oh.
Deviators.
Okay, yep. Yeah, I basically guess that.
Sure, whatever. Anyway, I can't talk now. I'm stealing coffee shop Wi-Fi, and the barista finally noticed I'm only ordering tap water. Remember, under
That's
no
a hilarious
circumstances allow David
response.
to know you possess the prototype.
Wanting to be this mysterious hacker and acting like you're like so secretive and then being like, yeah, I guess that's what you would say and being upset. That's so funny. My phone's about to die. Oh wait, let me do. What's the thing? Oh, I have to, okay. Ooh. Yeah, let's do one more day. Definitely talking to Fool's Guide to Romance. Oh yeah.
The distinct scent of books, that slight hint of vanilla and mystery, fills your nose. And while it only takes you a few moments to track down the source of the smell, what appears to be the spirit of literature hovers a few feet away from you, nose in a book.
What does that say? That looks like a romance book, but I can't see what it says right there. This design's pretty cool. I like this. It looks like some manga here, or some comics. I like these tattoos.
When he sees you, he nearly drops the book he's holding, rewarding you with a glare.
Book glasses. Okay, hold on. I really have to pee. I'll be right back. Okay, back to Bookman.
For God's sake, you cannot sneak up on me like that when I'm reading.
When are you not reading? You're probably always reading.
You have no way of knowing what world I've been in. I might mistake you for a zombie or an ill-mannered country gentleman and, well...
And kiss you.
I might have to act accordingly, you see.
Oh. And that would be bad?
Yes, probably. I suppose that would depend, wouldn't it?
Ooh, I like that. Like the scroll ape or drape?
My name is
Eric. Whoa.
I chose the name myself, you know. I was originally written as Lionel. Can you imagine?
Lionel. Nah, I couldn't imagine that.
I am the embodiment of all literature, an indisputable master of the written word. I have read positively everything. I am voracious with books, poetry, magazine articles, any genre, any length, any style. I love it all. I know you're curious about all that, so I figured I'd offer it right up front.
Really? What are you reading right now?
What am I not reading right now is a shorter answer. This one right here is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sink, a riveting account of voyaging
At on a hot tin roof, angels.
Sponge from a dirty band of moldy criminals.
Angels in America, our time of our home, a gay Dumbo fucked my car's butt and now they're both pregnant. Chuck Pringle. Pounded in the butt by the abstract concept of self-improvement while my gym equipment watches Chuck Pringle.
This one, Angles in America, is a non-fiction history on the American phobia of rounded spaces. A bit dry, but it does make you see space and architecture in a new light. And this one I picked up on a whim, and I won't put down until they pry it out of my cold papier-mâché. Pounded in the butt by the abstract concept of self-improvement while my gym equipment watches. This Chuck Pringle fellow, he really has a line on the object erotica market.
Do you have a favorite?
That's like asking if a potter has a favorite ball of clay. I couldn't possibly choose among my balls. They all contribute to this chaotic and adorable additive sculpture. That is me.
Do you have a favorite genre to write?
Right. Do I have a favorite genre to write? Well, we have arrived at my tragic flaw much more quickly than I would have liked.
Oh, hydrate. I shall. It is really hot. Everyone should be hydrating. It's like 90s now. Oh my god. Uh-oh, he can't write.
Get at least a few minutes of stimulating conversation out of a stranger before I'm forced to share my great shortcoming. I am a reader, but not a writer.
Same. I hate writing. I love reading. Hate writing.
Sadly, I've never even written a paragraph. Not a single line of text.
Not a paragraph.
Not a punctuation mark.
Oh no, we've got to do something about that.
We do? We? Do you mean that you would help me write? Write with me?
I mean, yeah, I don't like writing, but I can definitely help.
The first book of lyric?
Book. I don't know about book. I can definitely help you write a couple sentences. A paragraph, even. First book of lyric is a pretty cool title, honestly.
Well, I never. This is most excellent. I wager you're about to become the first human in history to help a book write a book. All very exciting. I have some materials to gather. Pens, paper. We'll probably need quite a bit of extra paper to crumple dramatically on the floor when writer's block sets in. Oh, how fun! I'm about to experience writer's block! All right, I'll get to gathering. I'll need some time, but when you return, ready shall I be.
Okay, that's fun. Ding ding. Ding. Okay. Freedom units doesn't make sense, but yes, we all use freedom units in 60 degrees. Everyone should know what that means. Or 90 degrees, because it's 90. Means really hot. Means super hot. Oh, I can talk to the treadmill? Oh. Yeah, I wouldn't want to talk to them. Here. Equipment. Oh, talk to teddy bear? I want to talk to the trophies for sure.
You see before you a glistening, oiled male form, perfect in its chiseled majesty.
USA is the only place that uses them because freedom units are just that big brained. You know, why do you use a system that has a base of 10 when you could use a system that has different bases for each thing, you know? Um, you know, and you have to just memorize the numbers just based off of. Doesn't that sound more fun to do memorizing stuff like that?
His gold, or is that bronze skin, is perfectly smooth. His features flawless.
Oh, hello there. Don't mind me. I'm just catching a bit of air.
Catching a bit of air. Roll, hi. Don't mind me, I'm just watching.
Oh, yes. I am rather worth taking a look at, aren't I? I'm Stepford. Trophy
Stepford.
of trophies at your service. I've just been standing here all covered with oil, waiting for a good sunbeam to come along.
Dorky, nice to meet you.
That's a winner's name if ever I've heard one.
Ooh, thank you. Most definitely, for sure.
Nice
Sure, I'm a
to meet
winner.
another champ. So, what brings you around these parts?
Just checking in on things,
Well,
you know.
Everything's going along well here. First place and all that. As it so happens, I have a self-tanning appointment coming up. Can't be late. But I'm so glad we met. Come and see me again soon, won't you? I'd love to, ask your opinion on something.
Why?
Got a tan.
Oh, whoa. Okay. Mysterious trophies. The yoga mat. Okay. Rosie D is something. I might not be able to. Okay, the fireplace. Fridge, freezer? The toaster? What is this? The coffee machine?
As you walk into the kitchen,
Whoa.
you're overwhelmed by a strange feeling. It's sort of like being watched, but it's more than that. You feel as if you're being evaluated, scrutinized.
I don't
by
know
a
if I'm gonna
presence
like this
that isn't
guy.
all that impressed by what it sees. It doesn't take you long to pinpoint the source of that feeling. A cleric of some kind dressed in black. He's handsome in a sterile and intimidating sort of way, but you can't even imagine this guy dating anyone. He's just so severe.
Yeah, really. Dateable. Friar Errol.
You reek.
What? What? Sorry, what?
You reek.
No, I heard you. What are you talking about? I showered.
Sin and grease.
Sin?
I feel as if I have been bathed in oil simply looking at you.
What are you, some kind of... All I had to eat today
This
was
goes far
cereal.
beyond what you've eaten today, sinner. Your soul is tainted from years of blasphemy.
See, this is what you're talking about. This is what you're talking about earlier with the kitchen judging you the most. This guy tell you the healthy diet, I guess, and believes you're sinning by eating probably pizza or something. I don't know.
I am Friar Errol, founder of the First Church of Convection. I am the steward of the road to the heavenly kitchen. I am a holy vessel for culinary purity and efficiency. And I am your salvation.
Replaced instantly. All right, yard sale time, and you're going first. What exactly do I need to achieve salvation?
First, you are to confess your sins to me, the steward of your culinary soul.
Oh, he's an air fryer. Yeah. That's a small air fryer.
Second, you are to help spread the gospel of convection to any as yet unsaved. And finally, you are to keep your soul pure and free of oils and the path to the heavenly kitchen is blessedly simple, and is our Lord not most generous?
I'm afraid. Can you really save me? Sounds awful.
You are so addled
Oh.
with sin and impurity, you cannot even see when someone is offering you salvation. Calamity, blasphemy, treachery. Bless your humble friar with patience and strength, O Lord. Tell me, do you wish to repent? I am ready, willing, and able to grant you absolution.
Bless
You
me,
need
Freya,
only
for I have food sinned. Fine, yes.
Speak, my child. What is it you wish to confess?
I had McDonald's yesterday. The oil soaked right through the bag. I don't even know what air frying is or how it works. Hi,
A shudder
McDonald's.
runs through the friar. Disgust, probably. But if you didn't know any better, you'd almost swear he was kind of into hearing this.
What?
Oh, disgusting. You've done the right thing, confessing to me.
Oh, what is this? Is this like kind of what? Oh. Into it? Is that like a I don't know what to call that.
Tell me, did you enjoy it? Did the impurity of it
What is that
all
called when they're like
titillate you?
into sins? Did you enjoy it? It did. It felt like I was getting away with a crime.
It is insidious, is it not? Even I am not immune to temptation, perfect though I may be. The grease devil is slippery and sneaky indeed. But in confessing your temptation, you have done well today, my child. Return to me again, and we will continue. Guide. For now, I must return. May you feel his currents at your back. Amen.
Hey. Oh. I want to see this soap.
The gladiator who stands before you is at once intimidating and alluring. She glares at you like she means to run you through.
Hello, miss.
Also emanates the refreshing scent of springtime breeze. It
Looks
slightly
cool as hell.
undermines whatever murderous intent she may actually. She is beautiful and terrifying, an Amazon in blue and pink. But even as she points her sword at your throat, all you can do is marvel at just how clean and sweetly scented.
Why does it say I have no connection? Did it drop?
It is.
What's happening? Stream is going weird. Does have one bar? Oh, no, now it's back. Good. I don't know why it's doing that today.
Who dares disturb me?
Titus Andromache.
You? Ha, name yourself! By all the pods in the firmament, if thou hast disturbed me for any reason less worthy than the red memory of battle, I shall leave you sopped, dirty. I shall leave you as you present.
I don't know why it's doing that. I don't really see anything wrong with the internet or anything. But I guess there was a storm not too long ago, and it knocked power out somewhere else, so it might still be issues with that. We don't even know each other and you're threatening me.
Threatening? Thinkest thou truly I have threatened? I have merely spoken, peasant.
Oh.
Bloom faith in thy breast, that in the face of a true threat from this general of note, thy knees should tremble, buckle, and bear you swiftly to a merciless ground.
Okay. Whoa, I'm scared, but that was gorgeous.
Ah, now I see flattery is thy weapon. Thou wouldst distract me, a saboteur snaking through the lines to deprive my soldiers of their general. Thinkest thou, O fairest fiend, that I will not see? Thinkest thou I will not tear thy cashmere blend from the burned hollows of mine eyes, and see thou in the cold
I
light
haven't
of a
really
betrayed
kept up
moon?
with Shakespeare, so this is, you know, gotta get back in this mind thing of deciphering what she means. No, not the cashmere.
Ah, here I am.
Oh, it could be a Twitch thing.
I play into the hands of misdirection by spending my precious energy here with the agents of defeat, instead of on the combed field beside the paths who fight and die for a clean honor. Thy victory fails, withers, stales in place, unwashed and full, lost in cleansing fire. On with you. On with you and return when and if thou art chastened by this failure.
I'll be honest, I'm too tired to understand what she's saying to me right now. Okay, I have one more. Vacuum? Let's do vacuum.
There's something strange about the handsome figure you
Whoa.
see standing before you. It's not his clothing, even though he does appear to be dressed in some sort of plastic armor. No, it's something about his face. Handsome though it may be, you can't quite place his expression. Stranger still, he doesn't speak to you at all. He just stares, his face screwed up in concentration, and his lips pressed together.
What's happening? What's it?
He lets out the breath he's evidently been holding, bending forward with his hands on his hips as he inhales and exhales deeply.
What are you doing?
Sorry
Woo.
about that. Just trying to see how long I could hold my breath for.
Okay. Fair enough. Seemed like a while.
I'm up to 3 hours.
3 hours.
All right. Now that that's taken care of,
The vacuum sucks. Hey.
I'll give you my full attention.
He's increasing his lung capacity to suck better.
Name's Hoover. My friends just call me Hoove, though.
Hoove.
What's up?
Henry Hoove.
You here to chat? Or is there another incident to clean up? And today was supposed to be my day off.
Hey. I'd love to chat.
Sure. What about?
Oh, you seen any of the animals?
He taps his fingers on his chin. Consider.
Maybe.
Maybe if you retraced your route?
I'd love to, but I'm a little tired today. Sorry.
Oh. I bet you've been all over the house.
You know it. I've been everywhere except the crawl space, I think. I mean, you never know. There are always places I might not know about. I have heard rumors about a haunted attic.
Haunted attic?
Nah, but I'm sure that's nothing but hearsay.
You say haunted attic?
Just a rumor, I'm sure.
So you're the one who is the investigator?
That's right. Crime scene investigation.
Ooh.
Love my work, but it can be hard to put it away at times. I do tend to keep it all in my bag.
Looks big.
Oh, it is. Big enough to take whatever needs taking.
And, how do you take it?
I'm all purpose on whatever surface, babe. Hard or soft, rough or smooth. I can do it any way it needs to be done.
Oh, right.
The only thing I'm not so good with is liquid.
Oh, you're not one of those vacuum. Okay. Oh, yeah, spills. About spills, of course.
What else would we be talking about?
Nothing. We didn't talk about nothing.
Okay.
You seem tired, buddy. What's going on?
Yeah, a bit. It's been a long week.
I've been too messy for you.
But I enjoy working
Sorry
hard.
about that.
Makes that can of oil at the end of the day taste all that much better.
But, what do you do for fun?
Well, I used to do a lot of things for fun. I used to love watching a good game, especially with fellow fans. And sometimes I'd have a drink after a long day's work. These days, I don't know. I've just felt a bit too cluttered. Nothing to worry about, though. Hey, it's been great talking to you, but I gotta finish up my work and call it. How about you come back and see me next time you got a minute? I feel like I haven't gotten out to do something fun in a while. And maybe the two of us could...
Two of us could what?
Catch a game or have a drink?
Maybe. Maybe. Sounds good.
It's a promise.
Cool. Oh, I did not help looking. I should have been asking more about them animals. I was no help. Oh, I forgot I still have this office. So I think all the books are lyric, right? There's a bookshelf though. There's normal shelves. There's curtains and stuff. Desk of papers. There's trash. What if that's still the same trash, man? There's pencils and stuff. I don't. Ugh. Is that? You accidentally bump into? These things make sounds. You can bump into them. Am I walking on? Oh. They scream. Oh, the bathtub. I gotta talk to. Okay. Okay, now it's Saturday, but I think I'm gonna stop here because I'm getting kind of tired. Well, let me save it. Oh. Oh, this was fun. I like this game. No, it's kind of that intro was kind of long, but I like it. I'm interested to see the storyline because it seems like a lot of these people have like overlapping things. And I don't know. I want to see like how deep it goes. Like how touching is it to talk to these characters and stuff. But we'll see. I might stream it more, but you know, I'm not good at being a consistent streamer, and I don't even know if I'm iffy on streaming. I like doing it, but also it's really tiring to me. And I don't feel like I'm good at it, so it's just like, eh. But anyway, this was fun. I really liked it. Go to this one. Thanks for hanging out, Fuse, and anyone else who stopped by and lurked. I don't know if I will do anything again or what it would be. Oh, I'm definitely gonna stream. RimWorld's gonna release a new DLC in July, so I'm definitely gonna stream that. But if I stream this game more or whatever, it'll just be random. I don't know. Thanks for saying that, and I appreciate that. But yeah, that's it for me. Bye bye. Have a good afternoon or night where you guys are, and I'll see you next time.